Hi, I'm Brett Peterson, the Business Rogue, and today we're going to talk about the 4 different kinds of product. At the end of this video, you should know what the different kinds of products are, and we'll have talked through ways that you can brainstorm new types of products you can sell in your business. If you're just starting out, hopefully this will also help you come up with new and perhaps more lucrative things you can sell to people in whatever space you want to work in. As always, if you're new here, please give us a like and hit the subscribe button. Also, please hit the notification bell so you can see when these videos come up, so you can see them in the first couple of days when they come out. It really helps us with the algorithm if you do that. Let's get started. The first kind of product are things you can physically hold and touch. Physical products. Sometimes you'll hear them called widgets, in manufacturing especially. When I think of a company that specializes in physical products, I think of Walmart. Walmart has their big, large box stores, they're sometimes called, where you can go in and there's tens of thousands of different physical things you can pick up off the shelf, look at, handle, touch, take to the shop counter, purchase, and take home. Physical products are the easiest products to think of. They're kind of what we first go to when we think about things we can sell. That's the easiest product. So I'm going to call those simply products, physical products. You're selling a thing. The second type of product is a service. So services are actions you do on behalf of somebody else. Lawyers, doctors are great examples of services. Accountants are a service product, right? A product you sell, it's a service that they're selling. Chauffeurs, drivers, chefs. One of the big advantages of service businesses is that they don't take, usually, as much startup cost. When you're producing a widget, producing a product, you've got to manufacture that somehow. When you're putting together physical goods to sell to someone, you have to put together those physical goods. But services usually have very little setup at all, right? Landscaping businesses have some setup because they have to buy the equipment. So you might have an equipment cost to provide the service, like a landscaping business comes and mows my lawn, right? But lawyers and accountants don't really have to. Web developers, if you see services to create your own website or create a new website, you pay somebody $500 or $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to make a website for you, they're providing a service. They're providing programming as a service, right? So that service companies are really appealing because they don't take a lot of startup costs. You can get going pretty fast, and as soon as you sell jobs, you're working and you're making money. And so consultancies, like when you're a consulting business, that's a service product. So it's really appealing for a lot of startup businesses to do a service product because they can get going right away. Third type of product is an information product. Essentially, all of the web companies are based around information products. The extreme example of this is Facebook, right? We all put our information into Facebook, we interact with each other, we use Facebook's services, and in response, they gather up all that data and sell it off to all and sundry, right? Whoever's willing to pay for it. Other advertisers, nefarious government organizations, whatever. Other Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, many tech businesses sell information. This can be extremely lucrative. I was looking just today at a couple of companies that simply gather up publicly available data, organize it in one place, and then sell you access to it. And they have some services where they can say, hey, we'll help you hide your personal information if you don't want all of the world trying to steal your identity. But their whole business is gathering up that information and then selling it back to you, whose information it is, or selling it to other third parties for whatever things they're going to do with it. All education services are essentially information selling services, right? There's some skill development in there too. But if you ever take a video course about, to learn how to draw, skill development courses, those are really information services. So Udemy, Coursera, really information products that they're selling. How do I do these things? Once you have the information once, you can sell it over and over and over again to millions of people. That's frankly why YouTube works, is people make information products and they put them out there and hopefully 1 million or 2 million or 10 million people view it, right? Fourth type of product are experience products. So the product is an experience that you give somebody, an emotional experience usually. This is the type of product that people forget the most. When you're reading a book, unless you're reading for information, in which case it's a nonfiction book probably, you're probably reading for an emotional experience. You want to feel something from the character's journey, right? If you're reading a horror book, you want to feel disempowered. If you're reading a fantasy book, you want to feel wonder. If you're reading a thriller book, you want to feel adrenaline and suspense. If you're reading a romance, you want to feel love. So there's an emotional experience baked into that you're purchasing. The story is important, that's fine, but the story is really a vehicle to deliver that experience. Same thing with the movie. Movies take you on an emotional journey. That's what you're buying. The lights and sound and spectacle, that's all fine. But what you're paying for is how it makes you feel. It's the emotional experience, primarily. There's also the visual experience and being awed by the spectacle. That's a different type of experience, and that's fine too. Almost all entertainment falls into this experiential category. Roller coasters, video games, sports, my team versus their team. You have kind of an in-group feeling, hanging out with friends. There's an experience there, right? Most vices are experience products. Gambling, drugs, whatever. I mean, I'm not promoting, don't sell those things, those are bad. But all of those products are experiences. They make you feel a certain way. You want to live through that. Travel is usually an experience product. Experiential products can also be very, very powerful. One difficulty with experiential products is you have to sometimes work to make them scale. So books scale very well, movies scale very well. Tours to Machu Picchu do not scale very easily. You can sell 1,000 of them, but eventually there's just enough people that Machu Picchu gets jammed up in the tourist season, right? This is the problem with beaches, right? Eventually, cool beaches get full of people, and they're not as cool anymore. In Thailand, there was a big problem with that beautiful white sand beach. It became photographed by everybody. Everybody said, I want that experience. They went there, and they trashed the beach. And Thailand had to shut down access to the beach because people were throwing trash on it, the wildlife was getting damaged, the beach was getting used up. You have to think through sometimes how to make it scale effectively. My challenge for you this week is to brainstorm one product of each type: physical widget, service, information, and emotional experience that you could sell to your friends and neighbors, to your customer base, to other customer bases. What are 4 different types of products? What are 4 products, one of each type, that you could sell? As you think about this, also ponder, how can I make these scale? How can I sell a lot of these to different people? Right now, let's say I'm carving a little statuette. How can you carve 10,000 statuettes? How can you carve 1,000,000 statuettes if you want to sell 1,000,000 of those? For your service, hey, I'm going to do accounting work for somebody. How can you do accounting for 1,000,000 people? Intuit QuickBooks is one of the answers to that question. What's your answer to that question, right? For information, I'm going to teach people how to speak a new language. I'm going to mentor people and teach them how to speak a new language. How can you scale that to teach 10,000 people? How can you scale that to teach 25,000 people or 1,000,000 people? And for emotional experiences, I'm going to help someone have a truly visceral, spine-tingling, horrific experience for Halloween. How do you do that for 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 1,000,000 people, right? So think through these different types of products, how you can make them work, how you can scale them, and who your customers would be. Some businesses can be very successful by blending different kinds of products, providing the combination. The best restaurants, for example, don't sell you just food. They sell you great food and a great experience, right? So you go to the restaurant for the ambiance, for the experience of it, right? You've heard of Home of Throat Rolls or Ed Debevic's in Chicago, where they kind of banter with you, the waiters and staff banter with you as they're serving you food. These are a blend of experience and food. Information and a service together is far more powerful and lucrative than information or service alone. So Palantir, Thiel's company, had the insight that, hey, not only gathering a bunch of data, that's fine, and having computers chew through it, that's fine, but having people review that and double check the computer's work when it gets flagged, we can double or treble our accuracy and be 1,000 times faster than a person could be by themselves. That's what made their company hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, right? Was that combination of information and service. Same thing with products and services, right? You have Tesla, which is providing not only an amazing car, but also the self-driving car service. That's a really potent combination. So think about, as you're going through and brainstorming these different businesses, also think about how could you create hybrid products? Are there hybrids of products and services, products and experiences, whatever, that you could create for your customers? In those joins, those hybrids, I think you'll find some pretty cool ideas. As always, thanks for watching. Please give us a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps us kind of raise up in the YouTube algorithm, which helps other people see this. Hopefully it'll be useful for more people that way. Good luck starting your business. We'll see you next time. Again, in Chicago on the pier, there used to be was Joe's Bebop Cafe. I guess I haven't been there for 20 years, but